gentlemen. Small ball. Can't win them all. That's 6 words. 6 words, gentlemen. Nick, the Rockets getting out-rebounded by 25 is blank.
Budgeted in. This is such a silly story. They expect to be out-rebounded. They budgeted in like this. You know what the cannonball run is when you try to break the record of driving from New York to Los Angeles? If you're actually, not just a movie, but the actual attempt, if you're actually trying to break that record, guess what? You know going in, you're going to get a bunch of speeding tickets. You're fine with it because that's part of the plan. You can't have everything in life. The Rockets are trying to surround the court with as much shooting as possible, make it impossible to defend them, and be one of the best offenses in modern NBA history. They've done all that. Now, the downside is you're going to be out-rebounded. So the fact that this continues to be a story, they know it. They're okay with it. They've been out-rebounded every game since Covington's been there, except for one, and they're 13-8. So, Antoine, to me, this is budgeted in. They expect it, and they're fine with it.
No, this is terrible, Nick. If they have any aspirations, if they have any aspirations of winning the NBA title, they can't do it getting out-rebounded by 25. If you look at it right now, they're in the fourth seed. They're going to probably finish in the 4th and 5th seed. So I give them, they probably do beat the Utah Jazz in the first round. But you get to the second round, you got the Lakers. The Lakers got size. You can't get past the Lakers not being able to rebound the basketball. They made 19 threes last night. You make 19 threes and you still lose. They got to accomplish what they wanted to do on the offensive end, but you got to be able to rebound the basketball. It's going to be Achilles heel for them. It's not going to be, they're not going to be able to overcome this. Too many big teams in the Western Conference. There's centers that can play, that are mobile, and they're going to get killed inside, Nick. I'm sorry. This is terrible. It was a fun strategy. It's good to watch the threes, but they won't be able to advance deep into the playoffs.
Yeah. Nick, you know I love a good metaphor, so I'm going to play out the cannonball run thing. I think it's teams. I don't think it's just a driver. I think you get a teammate. So if you and I were in the cannonball run and we're talking about our strategy, which road to take, whatever, and you turn to me, you're like, Wilds, I got a way to shave some time off of the race. I say, what is it, Nick? Smart guy. Say, we don't stop for gas. Everybody else be stopping for gas. We won't stop for gas.
That's not it.
Right from New York to LA.
It.
We save time.
That's
while
a
they're
terrible
stopping.
Analogy. You're a doofus. That's not
it's
it.
It's a fundamental part of the game, rebounding. Okay, and you need gas.
Listen,
I like it. We should do that.
You're not going to be able to be the type of team they're trying to be. How about this? Let me put it a different way, and then we can move on. If they were a good rebounding team playing this style, they'd be the greatest team of all time. Because if you're going to hit 23s, you're going to have almost no turnovers, you're going to have so many structural advantages. You are opting into a certain type of disadvantage. It's just glaring. And so to me, this is the Spurs saying we're not shooting threes. They know they're not shooting threes. It's intentional. We'll see. I agree. They won't beat the Lakers. They have to hope they don't play the Lakers. But it's not going to be because of rebounding, Jenna.
I'm going to go rent Cannonball Run again. I missed that. Moving on to TJ Warren. Yep, TJ Warren's got his own story and drawn a blank. He's been on fire for the Pacers so far this bubbled, restarted season, averaging almost 40 points a game. Nick, back to you. TJ Warren's bubble basketball through 3 games has been blank.
Cash considerations. And that's because that's what Phoenix gave him up for. Phoenix. Now, credit to Phoenix, they're 3-0 in the bubble. Good for them. They had a great win yesterday that made me very happy. But Phoenix and Robert Sarver, always thrifty Robert Sarver, they give TJ Warren a 4-year, $48 million contract, and a year into it, when he averages 18 a game, they're like, hey, Indy, you want him? You can. They traded him for $1.1 million, and now he's giving you 40 a night in the bubble. So, listen, I think it's a great nickname. TJ Warren should be called Cash Considerations. He should ask the NBA if for one game that can be on the back of his jersey if they were to play Phoenix in the bubble. And it is a brutal, it's like when the Suns in the height of the Nash era sold a draft pick. It sold a first-round pick. Like, giving up a quality player for $1.1 million is just unacceptable. and it sets you back as a franchise, Antoine.
I think this is sensational. I think when you look at guys that lead a coming out party, I look at this like when I played with the Celtics and I had 49 against the Washington Wizards and Juwan Howard and Chris Webber were their forwards. That was like my coming out party. I think this 53 that he put up in the bubble was TJ Warren's coming out party. He's always been a great scorer. If you follow his career, he was great at North Carolina State. He's been good in Phoenix. That's why Phoenix gave him a contract that they did, Nick, because he could score the basketball. But his efficiency, this guy's a 47 to 52% from the field for his career. He can shoot the three. He's got a great in-between game, good size. He actually, you look for that perfect fit. The Pacers are a perfect fit for him to go along with Victor Oladipo. Now they got a legit two guard to go with the three. So they got a good offensive. These two wings are going to be able to make some noise. It's going to take some time. Victor Oladipo has to come back. But what TJ Warren is doing right now is just sensational.
I got a fire take here. Ready for this, America? I'm pro trophy culture. You know when people get mad, like, hey, everybody gets a trophy. I'm pro trophy culture. More trophies, the better. So the idea that the bubble is we've already voted. It's like no MVPs in the bubble. The bubble doesn't count. Rookie of the year, defensive player, nothing. So the bubble's living in its own bubble. New awards for the bubble. And guess who the MVP of the bubble is? Boom, TJ Warren. Points, he's first. Field goal 6, field goal attempts. And Nick, guess who gets to vote? Guess who gets to vote on bubble MVP? The people who are just on the bubble of voting for the real MVP. You can be the captain of it, buddy.
You get a vote.
You get a vote.
I was really,
we'll do it
I was on your side. I was trying to support you. And now
I'm giving you a vote. Why are you mad at me?
You got to
It's insane.
We'll vote. You lost the vote. Now you're out again.
Move on. Move on, America. Not America. America stay.
We are moving on. Ending with, hello, my name is Luka. I live on the second floor. Mavs All-Star Luka Doncic finished with 34 points, a career-high 20 rebounds, 12 assists in Dallas's overtime win against the Kings last night. Youngest ever, by the way, to record a 30-20-10 triple-double. That's a stat. I'm on your corner, Nick. Nick, Luka's performance last night was blank.
Salt in the wound, because who'd it come against? The Kings. The Kings, who in Luka's draft after the Suns, again, in their infinite wisdom in that franchise, pass on Luka for DeAndre Ayton. And Ayton's a good player. The Kings could have had Luka. But Vlade had allegedly some beef with his agent or manager or something stupid. So they take Bagley. And then the Hawks are sitting there, and they're like, we love Trae Young so much, and I like Trae a lot. How about we just give you to Dallas for Trae Young and an extra pick? So, it's just salt in the wound. You could have had a future multiple-time MVP. And this isn't Monday morning quarterbacking from me on this. Luka, I'm on the record. He should have gone one in that draft from before that draft. And the Kings not recognizing a gift fell in their lap at 2 is just brutal, and it's even more brutal since Bagley's hurt again, and Antoine isn't even helping him.
Now, this is incredible, Nick. I have to admit, I almost jumped on the bandwagon after yesterday's performance. You almost talked me into it. First team All NBA. I got to give you credit. That was an incredible performance last night. I have to give Luka that. Probably put him on the first team All NBA after last night's performance. So, wow. It's actually strong on what he's been able to do. When you really watch him, to be able to lead this Mavs team, the Mavs roster is not that great. I mean, Kristaps Porzingis is good. We got Tim Hardaway Jr. They got a couple pieces, but he's playing unbelievable. I love the confidence, the swag that he plays with. Good call, Nick. I have to give you credit on that one. I got sold yesterday.
I was watching the Mavs
another one on the bandwagon.
Well, you're an influencer, Nick. You're a big deal. I was watching the Mavs game the other day, and the announcer just randomly said, hey, and the Mavs, of course, have the best offense in NBA history. I said, what? Oh, best offensive rating. That's what I said. I literally did a double take, and no one was in the house. I was like, what did he just say? Nobody was there. It's the weirdest sentence. It's the best offense in NBA history. We're not talking about it. It's a mind boggler to try to figure out. Shout out to Dean Oliver, who I like. But that's I guess you got to give him credit. And Antoine's on the bandwagon, and Nick is making things happen. So I guess I believe in him. Also, Kevin Hart coming up later on the show.
Slovenian son. So proud.
Back to the shot heard around the world. She said dramatically, how should Clippers fans feel this morning after their shocking loss to the Suns last night? This is
they're
First Things
fine.
First.
Who cares?